Okay, hey guys. So I'm gonna do a talk through today because this is like a chit chat. I normally don't do these, and not for any reason in particular. Honestly, I'm just not like. I find it hard to believe. I'm not really the most talkative person, so I definitely am not the first to jump to do talking things and such. But I figured I kind of had like this whole thought process a few weeks ago, and I was like, why not share that with other people? My God. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk as I go through this, and honestly, if I watch this back and I don't like it, I'm gonna take the sound out. I have cystic acne, so what I like to do and what I would recommend for other people to do is to put a spot treatment over the areas that you have acne. It's really not, especially if you don't use a primer at least, it's not really good to just keep putting makeup over your acne. Like, I get it, trust me, like I'm always covering my face when I have breakouts, but I mean like the oil from the foundation or whatever you use, and then the oils from your brush is just going to irritate it. So just make sure that if you are going to put something on, cover it. I like to let that dry. Oh, and I would get a clear one. This is the one that I have. This is the Neutrogena one. A few weeks ago, and maybe it was just, I don't know, the season, but I was kind of sitting, in my room, and I was talking to myself, because I tend to do that from time to time. And I was just saying to myself, I was like, self, you know, I'm really, really, like, happy right now. And I know most people, they're like, oh, great, you're happy, that's nice, like, woohoo, you're supposed to be happy. But for someone who was kind of like, I would say I was going through a mild depression at one point, within these past 2 years, like, being able to just be happy and not have, like, a reason to be happy, or, like, anything specific to be like, oh, I'm happy because of X, Y, Z, was just a great, feeling, and I really, yeah, I was really excited about it. So it kind of helped me like reflect on like where I've come over the past 2 years and like what I've been doing differently and how I got there, and I figured I'd share with you guys. So I guess most of you wouldn't know this because I don't share, like I said, but I went to school in DC. I graduated class of 2015 from Catholic University, and I got my major, my BA in, my BA or my BS? I think I got my BA. And it's obviously BA because it's not a science. In communications, media and communications, and I minored in marketing. And I was definitely one of those people who was like, you know, when I got to school, when I got to college, I was like, I know what I want to do. Like, let's just stop. Pause. Like, you know, before I went to school, before I went to college, I knew what I wanted to do. Like, I don't feel like I was unsure. I put a little bit of powder over it just because after it's dry, I want this area to stay dry so that the oils and stuff aren't really, I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be in journalism, particularly fashion journalism, but I was like, I'll go to this school that has a pretty good communications program, and I will get my degree in that, and then if anything, I'll branch out into something else. So I was like pretty certain, I guess you could say, of what I wanted to do, and I did that, and I got my degree, and I was living in DC, and I was like, I'm gonna come home because I'm not financially stable right now, and there's other things that were going on in my family's personal life, and we're kind of going through a transitional season with just different things that I'm not gonna get into because it's not really my business. Nothing bad or detrimental, like my family's still together, but we're just going through something as family. So like, let me go home. And yeah, I came home. I was like, oh, I'll just work over the summer wherever and keep applying for jobs, and then I'll hope to land something here in New York City. And that was the beginning of an unexpected 2 years for me. So that was probably the start of it, was, you know, looking for a job, not getting a job, not learning anything, like not getting called back, not hearing from anyone. And that, you know, in and of itself, I think is an issue. It's like kind of a struggle, but you kind of realize like, oh, like you're a new grad, like, you know, everyone kind of goes through this phase. But I think paired with all the other things that started to happen in my life, I really was just becoming unhappy and just like feeling trapped. Like I was feeling like, you know, like you get to that point where people are like, oh, you need to hit rock bottom. Not that I felt like I needed to do that, but once you hit rock bottom, then you know there's nowhere you can go but up. And for me, I was like, every time I thought I would have hit, I'm using this. There you go. Every time I would think that like, oh, this is the bottom, like this is my new season, like I'm gonna come out of this, something else would happen, and I would literally just feel like I was dragged back down to the floor, and I was just like, okay, great, like I'm supposed to do this already. Look at me. Clearly I'm not, see, I can't do talk because I'm not paying attention. And so the whole job thing was one thing. It's like I'm applying for jobs, I'm not getting it back. I'm not hearing anything back, and then it starts to be confusing for a girl who, you know, like I said, like I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and then you start to question yourself and like, well, maybe like what I wanted to do all along, maybe what my plan was, isn't what I'm supposed to do. And that started to kind of breed anxiety in me, because I was like a little annoyed. I'm like, I went to school, I studied all of this, I did my part, I'm in debt for something that I enjoy, but maybe it's just not what I'm supposed to do. So I'm like, so what do I do now? And I was kind of like just feeling anxious because I'm like, I don't know what I want to do if it's not this. Like if it's not media, if it's not communications, like I don't really know where I want to go. And people are like, oh, well, you're good at this, you're good at that. But I'm like, I don't know if that's what I really want to do. Like I get no enjoyment out of that because this is what I thought I wanted to do all along. So I'm feeling anxious, and then dealing with like rejection and like that whole process, you know, of applying to a job and you're just not getting it. Maybe you don't know, but when you're not getting it, you really start to think it's you. Like you could be in a job market that's just horrible, but you start to think that it's you because it's like everyone around you is getting some type of at least movement. It may not be exactly where they want to be, but it's movement, and you're sitting here in the same old spot that you were, you know, 4 months ago. So time really started to fly. I think like 6 months went by, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. In between this, as I'm telling the story though, I did work seasonally. I wasn't like not working at all for 2 years as I get to the end of the story. I did work seasonally at Nordstrom, which was fine, but I think for me it was more so like I want to land a full-time career. Like I graduated, I studied, I want to be full-time. And so going back and forth through all of that with just like, you know, trying to find a job and getting anxious because I'm feeling like, you know, and then you start to talk to people, and no one really means harm, I think, but like I think some of the things that people say they don't realize till later, like, oh, I probably didn't need to say that to her. Like a lot of people were like, you know, like the longer you wait, the less likely it is that you're going to be to get a job. And to someone who's applying their job and you feel like that it's not you per se, like I didn't really feel like it was me. I didn't feel like I wasn't doing my part. It's not like I was sitting at home, you know, just not, you know, doing anything, or just being super duper picky to the point where it was just like, come on now. I was just not hearing anything back. And for me to hear from people like, you know, the longer you're out of school, the harder it is, was just really just starting to take a toll on me. And I was like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. And I got in a season like a funk of just like, you know, maybe this is just supposed to be happening. Like I knew it wasn't supposed to be happening, and I knew nothing is forever, but it just felt like I kept asking God. I was like, when is this gonna be done? Like if this is where I'm supposed to be right now, this is what you want to take me through, that's fine, but I just need to know, like, have some kind of hope or something, because I felt like I was starting to lose my mind. And people would be like, oh, you know, you're handling this so well, and like all the stuff that's going on, you know, like I'm proud of you. But I was literally inside, I was like screaming. I was literally just like, I don't freaking know what's going on. Then on top of like the whole job search and everything, I was having health issues. I started to have health issues. I won't get too much into detail, nothing detrimental, but it just started to feel like at the worst time for me to be going through a bunch of different changes in my life, everything was happening at the same time. And that kind of goes back to my point of when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, and I kept feeling like the floor was falling out from underneath me. It's because of the fact that it wasn't just one thing going on. It was like something going on here, 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 to the point where I would just be like I wouldn't have anything to say because everything was happening at the same time, and I really just didn't know what to do. So I was getting really sick. Which is why most of you watch my fitness channel, you heard me say like I had a lifestyle change, and that was brought on by just going to the doctors and just realizing that my health wasn't where it was supposed to be. And then after that, the thing that, and that's how I started to look at it, which is bad. I know people are like, you're not supposed to, you know, you got to keep your head up. But when you're going through something and it doesn't really seem like there's many people around you that are probably going through it at the same time, it's hard to just stay positive the whole time. And I know that now more than ever. But so I was like going through sickness, was going through health issues with my body and just, you know, like issues with my teeth and like not being financially stable enough to like just get things fixed, which was annoying me because I'm like, you know, God, like I'm aware of the fact that I'm not working and that's fine and I'm trusting you in your plan, but I have health issues that need to be addressed and I can't address them if I don't have the financial means to address them. So it was just a lot of just like scariness. I had a few different things with my family as well in terms of health that were just really just kind of scary. And then to top it all off, I was having emotionally like heart issues, and then not heart physically, but like, I'll explain. I was having relational issues. So I was having a few issues with friends and people, and you get the idea. But I took the way I say it is like I took a few hits to the heart during that season, and I really just started to seclude myself because or is that the word? How do you say it? Like I started to pull away because I just felt like there was too much happening in my life, and I didn't want to always seem like the person who was complaining, but I was like, there's just too much going on right now, and I don't know what, like I don't even know what to do anymore. I feel like, you know, half the stuff that was going on didn't really need to be going on, but it was just happening. And then, you know, when you take, you know, circumstances, health issues, emotional issues, and you take all of those together, that leads to the lovely mind games and then I won't say mental issues, but the things that start to happen in your brain. And that's really when I think my anxiety kind of peaked, and I really just became super unhappy because I'm like, there is nothing in my life right now that I feel like I have control over. Everything else is just kind of moving. Things that I didn't expect to happen happened, and I just feel like I can't control anything in my life and I have no power over my life. And going through all these things, and then I just got to a point where I felt like, you know what? I'm tired of being like unhappy. I'm tired of walking around feeling like this. Like I said, you know, yeah, I can't control everything. Yeah, my situation isn't exactly what I would have wanted it to be or chosen it to be, or if it was in my control, would have let happen. But it is where it is, and I don't want to just live unhappily. And I think that's a hard thing to do because I know, trust me, I'm one of those people like where I feel like sometimes when you're going through things and then you have that one person that keeps saying, well, you just gotta, you know, you gotta stay positive. And it's irritating because it's like, you're not here. You know what I mean? And it's always different. And honestly, I thank those people because they are just trying to be encouraging. And I'm not like, shut up. But it's hard when the person's not in the situation that you're in, or maybe has never even been in this situation, to hear their words and to take that and be like, you know what, that's right. It's definitely something that I feel like you have to get to yourself. And I just felt like I got to a point where I was just like, I'm tired of being here. Like, regardless of if I'm going to be in this situation for the next 10 years, I don't feel like being unhappy in it. I really don't. Although it's not ideal and it's not what I wanted, I really don't. So what? It's been a year and a half and you have not landed a full-time job and everyone's saying all they need to say about it and all. Like, so what? You deserve to be happy about your life regardless of what you feel like isn't moving, regardless of what's going wrong. I think you deserve to be happy about your life because I think if anything in that season, yes, I won't say now that I was like so happy to be there. I was like, yes, I'll do it again. But I definitely learned so much more about myself. I realized how much more stronger I am. I realized how much more creative I am. I think a lot of my creative gifts came out of the seasons of me being home and not working full time and not really having anything to do throughout the day. About me wouldn't have fully come out if I didn't realize that this is where I am and I need to be happy where I am and I need to be fruitful in something else other than the things that I felt like I couldn't control. Through this, I think you have to be very real with yourself. One of my friends, actually, I'll tag her channel, I think is the Tubby Effect, but I'll tag her below. She was on a board, like a panel, and just talking about different things. But one of the ladies that was there, also Jackie has a lot of tidbits of life that she's been sitting on, and I'm glad that she has a YouTube channel now, so go check her out because she's going to give you a lot of knowledge. Okay? But one of the ladies that was there was talking about, you know, when it comes to certain issues, like people, especially in the minority community, we don't like to be real about it. Like, especially in the minority Christian community, at least. Sometimes we like to just sweep things and not address things. And I think the first step to kind of being happy and having true happiness, not happiness that's conditional, is realizing where you're at and being real with it. And that's what I do. I said to myself, okay, this is where you are. Like, this is what's happening. Acknowledge it. If you need to, cry about it if you want to. And say to yourself, I am not defined by this. Like, this is not going to be my defining moment in life. So yeah, it isn't ideal. Yeah, I don't want to be here. And that's the thing, you know, be real about that. Say to yourself, I said, you know, if I could have written the story, I don't think I would have wanted to be here. I understand that you're doing something greater, and I'm not going to understand it probably till a lot later, but I don't really want to sit here. If you would have asked me, hey, you know, it's time for you to come out of your season of transition. Do you want to maybe stay in there for two more years? And I've been like, well, what makes you happy, you know? Not to say that I wanted it to be conditional, but I focused on things that made me happier. I focused on my creative gifts. I stayed hopeful. You have faith for, but I think hope is where your dreams are, in a sense, if that makes sense. Holding on to the hope inside of my heart that I knew that regardless of what was going on, it wasn't going to stay this way forever. And at some point or another, it had to break. And I think that really helped me. Look at me. I'm talking. I'm not even doing anything. That really helped me just like start to feel that like load, they almost say. Like I said, if you've ever been in a depressed state, you know the heaviness that comes with that. Like, I didn't realize how much I had sunken into myself until I tried to come out. And it took a lot. It took a lot of, like, you know, you have those days where you're just like, this isn't life. It was a lot of push and pull, but like I said, I tried to continue to hold on to the fact that I knew that my life wasn't going to stay the way that it was. I knew that although this season, as we like to call it, was longer than I expected, every season comes to an end at some point. What is it that has changed in my life? Where have I grown? What are things that I could look back on and be like, you know what, this wasn't here 6 months ago, 10 months ago, 24 months ago. It's hard for me to realize that it's been 2 years since I kind of started this whole process, but I really I started to realize, like, girl, you're not the same no more. Like, I felt a lot better, even though I feel like my circumstance didn't change, because that was my thing. Like, that whole time I was so dependent on the fact that, like, I'm going through this, and I would justify it too. I'd be like, you know, no one can tell me that I can't be unhappy right now, or I can't be upset, because they're not going through what I'm going through. And not that, you know, I get that in a sense, because I know I never try and be the type of person to discredit what someone's going through and try and make it seem like it ain't that serious, because I'm not going through it. But I definitely think that I allowed my situation to really just define who I was at the moment, and I started doing that. As I was saying before, I just came to, ouch, a place where I realized, like, I wasn't where I used to be, and that was something enough for me to celebrate. I can look at my life now and definitely say that, yeah, I want to be, I can say that my situation changed, but I'm definitely still going through a transitional season, and I'm definitely, there are things that are just kind of up in the air, and I have no idea what's going to happen with them, but I feel better, because I feel like I regained control of my life, and I'm not allowing my circumstances to kind of thrust me into emotional states, whether it's just being unhappy or dealing with a lot of anxiety. I realized that I had to say to myself, you know, you can't control everything in your life, and that's just life. Whether you're going through a really good season for whatever reason or not, you know, you can't control everything. Realizing where I'm at, where I came from, was definitely something that's making me really hopeful and just happy. And I love this feeling. Oh, I don't know if I already apologized. Maybe I did earlier in this video, but I can't remember. But I've been MIA for like a week, kind of. And it wasn't anything particular. I definitely haven't had content to post for you guys last week and the week before, but I don't know what happened with my brain. But I would be like, I would wake up either Tuesday, I wouldn't wake up. I would realize Tuesday night or Friday night, I'd be like, what was I supposed to do today? And I'm like, oh no, I didn't upload. And I didn't even have it edited to upload. So I don't know where I was, but I'm back on track now. And I actually do have like new things coming for the summer for you guys, which is exciting. And all done now. Thank you guys so much for watching this Get Ready With Me. If you like this video or you want to see more talk throughs or chit chats, please give this video a thumbs up, or like I said below, you can comment yes ma'am. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you on Friday, I promise, in my next video. Bye.